Alright, what is up? Welcome back. Got a little midweek news video for you because this is kind of big-ish news. Two of the big film camera projects that I've kind of been keeping my eye on, and I think most people have been, so it's not just me. I'm not special here. Pentax one that's coming out sometime this summer, and the Mint Rollei AF. Going to be a metalled body duplicate replica kind of deal to the Rollei 35, which is a zone focus rangefinder, really small, really intricate little system. Not my favorite, I'll be honest. That's neither here nor there. Mint is a company that's making a camera. This one's going to be full frame, so it's going to be different than Pentax's half frame camera. And they've released some information on it, so I'm going to go over it here. I've got it pulled up. So it's going to have a 5-element all-glass lens, which is nice. Integrated lens unit, because it's a zone focus rangefinder kind of deal. But it also is going to have an autofocus system, so I guess that kind of negates the whole zone focusing thing. It's going to have a 35mm focal length, which is perfect. And it will be around $650 to $800, which I think is probably about fair. Given that it's a new system, it's going to have a lot of technological things in it. It's going to have glass elements, so it's going to probably be very sharp. But you do have the opportunity to select different apertures, which is nice. It's going to be f2.8, f4, f5, 6, f8, f11, f16. And it has a built-in light meter and auto mode. So for all of that, $800 seems like a pretty fair deal, I would say. So far, the website has other product images, which are pretty nice as well. It does look like it's a really well-built system. I guess my thought is it has a lot of the similar looks to the old Rollei 35. It's very, very small. I think it's the Rollei 35, I think, is the smallest 35mm camera, and it kind of fits that bill as well, being very compact. So that's obviously going to make it great to like bring on a trip or like have in your bag or your pocket or whatever. The 35mm focal length is going to be great for street photography, great for just about anything really. Snapping those quick shots, which I think is kind of what Pentax was also looking to do with their system, and how they market it more towards like the social media generation and towards people that are like not actively thinking about their photography as much. They just want something quick and fun and easy to use, which I think is probably a smart play, just because that seems to be a lot of people's interest at the moment, and at least a lot of like the broader audience interest. On the front, you also have a little bit of the Memo Dial thing, which actually I have something kind of similar on one of these Spotmatics, SP2, where you can rotate between what color film you have in there, whether it's color negative, tungsten, colored positive, black and white, or whatever. That's kind of like a retro thing that I really like. As fun as like a memo slot on the back is, or being able to see the film, I kind of like when it's a manual thing, mostly just because I like older fonts. I like that extra little element of style to it. So big fan of seeing that. The lens itself looks really sharp. With 35-2.8 at that size is going to be nice. Allegedly, it's coming soon this year, so we'll see what that looks like. Overall, the colors through the lens look fantastic. I don't know what film this was shot on, but it does look really nice. And yeah, I'm seeing a lot of sharpness. And again, a lot of that's kind of going to be reliant on the film itself, as I discussed in that other video where I was talking about your camera doesn't matter too much. But I do think seeing a relatively smaller company such as Mint making this huge step in with this whole system that they've kind of built. Granted, it's built off of a platform that was developed, you know, in like, I think the 60s. I don't know when the 35 came out, but it's an older platform, but they're integrating newer parts onto it, making it a little bit fresher for the next generation, which I think is cool. The autofocus system, we don't know much about, so who's to say how good that is? I'm imagining it's probably very good because we've made leaps and bounds in autofocus technology, but I don't know if it's going to be like the best part of this camera or anything like that, but it's a cool feature, I would say. It looks sick, I'll be honest. It also has a self-timer button on the front, and I do like that it's full frame too, even though it is so compact, because I think if I had something that's like as small as the little Demi E17 was, but it shot full frame with a 40 or 30 1.7, I'd be much more enthused with this camera. As it stands, this is a great camera, but the half frame, it just feels like too much sometimes. Like, I don't know if I really want to commit to 72 shots of the same roll, and that's a me thing, and it's just a complaint I have. So you could definitely differ on that, but I think that the full frame is nice, especially the Pentax is releasing that half frame option sometime maybe later this year. So those are my thoughts on the news about the Rollei 35 AF. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any other comments, questions, or concerns about this camera, please comment them down below. We'd love to hear about you. What do you think of it? Have you shot the Rollei camera? Not my cup of tea necessarily, but it is cool. I get the intrigue. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it as always. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and catch you on the next one.